New Thought Media Network is pleased to present Treasures from the TAO, live on Tuesdays at noon Mountain Time with Reverend Jody Hill-Stevenson. Join us as Reverend Jody shares wisdoms, inspirations, and treasures from the TAO every Tuesday here on the New Thought Media Network. And here is Reverend Jody.
Welcome everyone to Treasures from the TAO. I'm beginning to just feel like this is like a really precious 15 minutes of my week. I'm so happy to be here with you. So the great author who wrote Eat, Pray, Love and had amazing success once wrote, "It is better to live your own destiny imperfectly than to live an imitation of somebody else's life with perfection." That's a really big statement. And the truth is, research shows that people would rather be liked than honest. So I have been in the human happiness profession for 42 years now. My goodness. I started out as a trainer for a smoking cessation program that actually helped me quit a 2.5, 3-pack a day of Marlboros for 16 years. I then went into the New Thought ministry. I also got my certification as a hypnotherapist and a timeline counselor. I became a professional speaker, and to this day, I passionately study and teach the ancient principles of spirituality and success. I have come to believe there is one basic truth, just one. That is how simple life is. Only one. And I am so right on this that I think we should roll the drums. I think that we should light up the cosmic fireworks. I think that we should listen to the angels singing because they're like, yes, this is true. And this one basic truth is the most courageous thing that you and I will ever do. This basic truth will change your life forever, I promise. This one basic truth demands that you face your inner demons and awaken to the wisdom of your own soul. So what's the basic truth? I have come to believe that the awakening path of spirituality is authenticity. Now, this is not a new or original idea, trust me. The great Taoist sage, Lao Tzu, who many of you know I love, years ago wrote, 2,500 years ago wrote, "Knowing others is wisdom, knowing yourself is enlightenment." Taoism is a down-to-earth guide to living life in grace. With what I call the divine, you simply learn to accept yourself. There's no need to resolve the various contradictions in life. And instead, you live with the acceptance of your own true nature, your nature. We are each individualized expressions of the divine. So last week, I turned 71. I cannot begin to tell you, there are no words that can express my gratitude for my life. I was raised in a critical, sarcastic, addiction-laden family that taught me to care more about what will the neighbors think than to teach me to listen to my own inner wisdom. And I think that's why many of you know that I am the mother of 2 sons, 2 beautiful sons who are now thriving men in the world. And when they were little boys, I would share with them, if you really want to be successful in life, you first have to learn to trust your own wisdom. And sometimes they would be really frustrated with me because I wouldn't give them the answers. So it's taken me 71 years, and trust me, between the classes and the therapists and the counselors and the on and on and on and on, I have come to really appreciate my zany, whimsical, wise, and sometimes naughty self. Now, my 71-year-old is not as naughty as my 31-year-old, but, she shows up once in a while, not too much. But it's taken me this long to allow myself to have great respect for my own authenticity. In the trio of treasures, the great author, me, writes, by allowing your authentic voice out, you kindly say, I deeply care about you, but as an individualized expression of the divine, I'm going to allow the wisdom of my soul to guide me, not your opinions or judgments. The author goes on to say, allowing is the act of trusting the mystery of life to unfold naturally. What joy it is to watch the creative juice of the Tao work its magic. Your only job is to know what you want, be yourself, and then allow the how. So as you awaken to your authentic self, you want to ask yourself a few questions. The first one is, where might you be betraying yourself? Where are you saying yes when you really mean no? I love the quote, stress is when your mouth says yes and your gut says no. Oh my God, I've experienced that so many times. Where in your daily life are you giving yourself away at the expense of your own peaceful mind and joyful heart? Because we have an inner mechanism that says, I'm not being authentic. In my recovery years, as I've learned to transform my shame, because I was dealing with such deep insecurities and shame, I had a counselor once tell me, when you are in the middle of a sentence and you know you're not telling the truth, stop and say, I'm not going to finish that statement because I am not being authentic. Oh my gosh, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But after a while, it got to be really fun. People just look at you like, what? I go, it's my own recovery. Authenticity, the art of being your very most magnificent self, I got to tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy. Sometimes it's not even fun. Sometimes you will make mistakes and they will be brilliant. Oh my gosh, how often I still do that. Sometimes your mistakes will be embarrassingly imperfect. I promise. Sometimes you will have to say goodbye to people you love. Sometimes you will be criticized, backstabbed, and judged. Sometimes people will try to control you. You will hear things like, what is wrong with Jody? She's just so different. I mean, she's not that much fun anymore. She doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she's not as naughty as she used to be. Sometimes you have to change addresses. Sometimes you have to change careers and let go of all careers and step into your soul purpose. Sometimes you have to let go of addictions and compulsions. And most of the time, here's my personal warning to you, authenticity is always, always devastating to the ego, but so delicious to your soul. Authenticity is always devastating to your ego, but so delicious to your soul. So this week, I hope you have a wonderful week. Please continue wearing the masks for you and for others. We're not through this yet, but we're all in this together. Please continue. If you're in the middle of a sentence and you know you're not telling the truth, stop and go, I'm not going to finish the end of that sentence. I dare you, I challenge you to be imperfectly, authentically you. So thanks for joining me today. Have a great week. I love you, and I'll see you next time.